It's Monday night. Welcome back to Gardening TLC. We are gardening real time right here in Northern Illinois, and you can follow along with us. We have 21 raised beds in our community garden area, and we are going to be totally growing some awesome food. I garden in 12 of these 21 raised beds. The rest of them are gardened by the neighborhood. We grow it, we eat it, and we're going to show you how to do it too. So come along with us tonight as we do some really fun things. So I am Michelle, and again, I live in Northern Illinois, Zone 5, and we're using the average last frost date to do all of our plantings. And if you want to grow right alongside of us, you can do that too. And basically all you do is you type in average last frost date, your zip code, into a Google search, and it'll tell you when your average last frost date is. Now, I'm about 1 week in front of my average last frost date, and if you have totally missed planting cool season vegetables, it's okay, because there's plenty of time for you to be able to plant warm season crops. Today, we're going to finish off planting any of those crops that we didn't get in the ground. We also have some fun things on the agenda, so let's check them out. So what is on the agenda today? Today, we are going to be thinning some of our root crops, because that's something that you've got to do so they've got room to grow underneath the ground. We are also going to be planting up the rest of our cabbage, broccoli, and cauliflower. We have a fun mailbox project that we're going to do. We're also going to have a bug talk and talk about 2 different kinds of bugs, leaf miners and flea beetles. And then at the end, we're going to do something fun and plant up strawberries in my new green stalk plant. So every week, I cannot go through 6 entire beds. And by the time we're done, it's going to be 12. I just think that will be so boring. So what I decided to do was I made like a little schematic of what I planted in each bed. And then I took a picture of each bed this morning so you could see the progress of what they look like and kind of put them side by side. I put the planting dates of when we put them in the ground, and every week I'll start the videos by kind of showing you where everything is at, and then we'll move on to what we're actually doing in the garden that week. Now, just know I did not really have to do a whole lot of watering. I came out here twice last week. It rained a lot, so I didn't have to do a lot of that. We've had no cold nights, so I haven't had to cover anything. And the only thing I've done is a little bit of weeding just to keep up on it, because if you don't keep up on it, the next thing you know, it's gotten away from you. So make sure if you're gardening, get them while they're little, because it's the easiest way to control it. As you can see here, I've been hauling everything around in my car. And sometimes I have to borrow my car out to people because something will happen and they need to run, or someone needs to deliver something and we need an extra vehicle. And then I have to take everything out of my car, put it on a cart, haul it all the way down to the garden beds, load it back into my car. And I just decided, you know what? I want all my tools at the garden bed. So I found this mailbox in our landscape garage that I used probably 8 or 9 years ago for a display at a home show. And I went, I'm going to strap that to a pole and I'm going to keep all my tools in there. So let's get that done. Started to rain, and then the sun came out, but there's more rain clouds behind it, so I just want to be ready. I am going to plant some more romaine lettuce. I have 3 more. These are Valley Heart, and they mature in 75 days, but that would be from like the time that they became little seedlings, so these are probably about 60 days away. So 3 more romaine. That will give me 7 altogether, but they won't all be ready at the same time. That's why we succession plant, so that we can manage our food crops. So let's get these 3 in the ground. This is one of the beds that I filled up last week, and I have a little bit of room right down here on the end, and I want to plant 2 more Napa cabbages. Now these are the bigger Napa cabbage. I planted the baby jades in the other bed. This one is called Sweet Thang, Thang, and it comes to maturity in 65 days. So I'm gonna get a bigger head of that Napa cabbage on here. Yes. Here are my 2 that I'm gonna put in here, and there are worms everywhere. And that is such a great sign that you have healthy soil. That makes me so happy. This is a brand new bed that we're gonna start. So this for us is bed number 8. I am gonna plant some more cauliflower, and I'm gonna plant the purple one, some more of the Destiny broccoli, and then I'm gonna plant 4 regular green cabbage. I think the name of it is called Green Acre, but I'll check. Now, this bed, we're only planting up some on this end and some on the other end, and the whole middle will be open and ready for some warm season crops that we're gonna start next week. But let's get these in the ground because this will be the last of the cool season crops that we're putting in right now. We have 4 of our broccoli right here, the same ones that we've been planting called Destiny. And then if you come down here, we planted 3 of the purple cauliflower right here. And then I did plant 4 cabbage right here. And this cabbage is, it's called, oh, I was wrong. Early Jersey Wakefield is the name of the cabbage. And it is 65 days to maturity. So there we go. See, this is the last row of garden beds. Nobody ever wants these beds. So they're always mine because they don't like to drag the hose all the way down here. I don't mind, but we'll finish filling this bed out next week with warm season vegetables. Well, that sunshine didn't last long. Here comes some more rain clouds. So we'll see how fast we can get this done. So one of the things that you need to do when you are growing root vegetables is you need to thin them out. The tool that I like to use are these little snips right here because I can get in there and I can just snip out the vegetables really super fast. Think about the end goal. How much room does your vegetable need to grow underneath the ground? So a radish, you know, it gets about that big around. A beet gets about like that. You can get them a little bit bigger, but I find that they're better tasting if they're about like this. And then a turnip about like that. In my opinion, that's when you're going to get the best flavorful ones. If you let them get bigger than that, they have a tendency to get kind of woody, and I don't like them like that. So I'll harvest them when they're smaller. So if you're not sure how much to thin, my rule of thumb is 2 fingers like this. See, there's my radish. 3 fingers for a beet and 4 fingers for a turnip. Then I know what to leave or how much space to leave in between each of the little plants. And I just go through and I snip them out. These are radishes. And if you look in here, you can see how they're all close together like that? So I will not be able to get a nice round radish if I leave all these together. And I know it breaks your heart to have to thin them out, but you really need to be able to get a good crop. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull them all and see, I'm gonna leave 2 fingers in between each one, and that's what I'm gonna leave in the row. So everything that I pull out of here or I snip out of here, I'm just gonna throw away. And I'm gonna do this with turnips, I'm gonna do it with beets, I'm gonna do it with carrots. They're not quite ready yet for carrots. Maybe in 2 weeks I can thin the carrots and the radishes. So we're gonna get all of that done right now. IPM stands for Integrated Pest Management, and every week I'll be talking about different bugs, diseases, or weeds, which is what IPM covers. For the most part, I am going to be 100% organic in my garden. You won't see me get out any heavy-duty herbicides or pesticides. I'm either going to be picking things off or covering things up or using what I call host plants to attract different bugs in the garden so that they stay away from the things that I don't want them to eat. So this week we're going to cover leaf miners and flea beetles. Let's talk about leaf miners first. So this is a picture of an adult fly that is a leaf miner, and what they do is they lay their eggs in mid-spring on the undersides of the leaves, and then they get little maggots, and then those hatch from the eggs, and then they feed on the tissue between the upper and lower leaf surfaces. You can see them because it looks like something was mining through the leaves. Now, if you do see these, just pick off any leaves like this, just throw them away. You also are gonna see these on spinach, the greens from beets, turnips, Swiss chard. Now, if you do find that you have this problem, pinch off the leaves that you see, but you can go get a row cover, cheesecloth, any kind of fine screening to put over the top of your plants to protect them from the adult flies, because what they're gonna do is lay their eggs, and that's what you wanna prevent. This next one is a picture of a flea beetle, and basically what you're going to do to control those is you can apply a neem oil on top of your plant, and this is not something that's a chemical, but it's an oil, and you do it on the young plants of your cabbage or any related crops where you see it. These little tiny beetles are only like I don't know, maybe a 1/16 of an inch long, and they jump like fleas when they're disturbed. They will chew holes in your plant leaves, and they can really retard the growth of many of your vegetable crops. Mostly I see it on cabbage leaves, but you can also see it on other brassicas like broccoli, cauliflower, and things like that. So you want to watch for that as well. This is what they look like, and make sure that you're paying attention to your crops. So every week while you're weeding, look at your crops and see what they look like. Now you can always use sticky traps in the garden. You can find those at any garden center. You can just put them out, and basically it's this little square white thing, and they're yellow, and they will catch a lot of the flying things that kind of pass through your garden. You just want to make sure you change them out every once in a while. I don't know if they're good or bad. There's pros and cons to it. Are you attracting the bugs or just catching the bugs that are passing through your garden? I don't use them, but I know a lot of people do. So that might be something that you want to try, because they will catch, like, you know, the leaf miners and the flea beetles. If they jump up on them, they'll get stuck on that fly trap. All right, those are your 2 bugs of the day. Let's go do something fun. Let's go fill up the green stalk and plant some strawberries. I can't wait to do this. I saw Laura on Garden Answer do this, where she planted all of her strawberries in a green stalk, and I'm like, that is so what I want to do, because I do not want to go onto the ground, and I don't want to take up one of my garden beds with strawberries. So here we go. Let's run over to my house. I put this up on the back porch. We'll put our green stalk together and plant out some ever-bearing strawberries. All right, we're going to plant up some strawberries, and the ones that I'm going to do today are ever-bearing strawberries. Now, in Illinois, you can plant 3 different kinds of strawberries. You can plant the ever-bearing, or you can do a June-bearing, or what they call is day neutral. These 3 strawberries are the most popular that you're going to find here in Illinois. I think they're probably the ones that are going to be the most popular pretty much everywhere out there, but the cultivars will vary from region to region based on what the growers in that area grow and what grows well where you live. So if you are growing a June bearing strawberry, it basically means that you're going to get your crop within a 2 to 3 week period of time in June. It flowers, it sets all its fruit, it produces the fruit, and then you don't get any more fruit for the rest of the year. Now, if you're doing ever-bearing strawberries, typically what happens with those is you get 3 crops. You'll get 1 in the spring, then it'll flower again, you'll get 1 in the summer, and then it'll flower again, and you'll get 1 in the fall. So you kind of get 3 crops. Now, day neutral are ones that are continuously going to bloom throughout the whole entire summer, and you're going to continuously get strawberries all season long. Now, I have chosen to do ever-bearing strawberries, because I want to manage when my crops come in, because not only do I want to eat them, but some of them I'm growing because I want to get enough strawberries that I can make some jam and some preserves. So let's plant my strawberries. All right, so I'm pretty excited about my green stalk. I brought them into the store this year. It's the first time I've carried them, and I got this basket weave one. It's got this really cool pattern on the outside. Now, this is the original one here. I did the shallow pocket. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 holders, and it's 7 high. I did get the spinner to put on the bottom of it so I can roll it around, spin it around, but we are actually gonna set ours up right out here next to the 2 garden beds that we have on the back deck, so this thing will get plenty of sun. So, I don't know, let's set it up. There you go, 1 planter. I ended up using 5 bags of the Fertilome dirt. It was a 25 quart bag. I used 1/3 of a bag of the land and sea compost that I put on top, and I fertilized it with the garden fertilizer, the same one that I've been using over at the garden. And I fertilized every one of the little cells. Now, the first 5 rows, I did a little perennial ever-bearing strawberry. It doesn't tell me the cultivar name. There were little plugs, and that's what I put in the first top 5 rows. So I have 30 strawberries that are this cultivar. I have no idea what it is. All right, then the next row down, I did Tristan. Now, Tristan is a little bit of a tartar, and it's good for pies, jellies, jams, and so I have 6 of those. And then below that, I have an Ozark Beauty. The Ozark Beauty I've grown before, and I do like this one because it grows really good in a container, and that's what I have at the very bottom, 6 of those. So altogether, we have 42 ever-bearing strawberries in our planter. And I haven't watered it in yet because it's supposed to rain again. But if we don't get enough rain, then I'll come through and I'll get it all watered in. All right, so strawberries, check, done. Wow, we accomplished a lot today. I hope you're enjoying this growing season. I hope you're learning some things, and I hope you have time to get out in your garden today. I'm Michelle. We'll see you next Monday. Keep on gardening, you guys. Bye.